Hey guys, I just went and checked the mail and guess what I got? Prancer! Can't wait to watch this with the kids. It's gonna be so much fun. I haven't seen this in so long. Yeah. Such a cute movie, seriously. If you guys haven't seen it and you have kids, or if you just love cheesy Christmas movies, totally should get that, or find some way you can watch it online or something, I don't know. Anyway, I just got some jewelry supplies in the mail too, so I got a bunch of stuff. This is gonna make doing my pendants so much easier because they're little bails that I can just glue on the back of my pendants instead of trying to do the wire wrap for the pendant bail or whatever. If you guys know jewelry, you'll know what I'm talking about. But anyway, these are gonna be making my pendants so much easier to make, and I got a bunch of lobster clasps too for making necklaces and stuff. So anyway, I got some Amy's breakfast burritos in the oven that I left them in there to stay warm. There's a sticker on the front of these. It's the bean and tomato burritos, and I left them in the oven to stay warm while I was taking the boys to school. Now I'm going to take those out and eat breakfast, and then I'm going to be working on my pumpkin pies for Thanksgiving. So I found a no-bake pumpkin pie recipe on TheMinimalistBaker.com, and because I don't have any kind of evaporated vegan milk, because I'm going to use these Libby's pumpkin pie cans, and the recipe on the back says evaporated milk and eggs, and so I'm gonna make some hemp milk since I'm all out of almond milk, and I have hemp seeds, so I'm gonna make hemp milk. I'm gonna use probably flaxseed plus a teaspoon of my egg replacer, just because I know for sure that flax seeds work, and I'm gonna use both just to make sure that it holds together. And I'm just gonna use, yeah, so it's pretty much just gonna be pumpkin pie mix, spices, a little bit of hemp milk, and egg replacer. And then I have some pre-made graham cracker crust that I already bought from Walmart that are vegan. So that's it, and we'll see how it turns out. And I'm not gonna eat them obviously until Thursday, so they're just gonna go in the fridge, and I'll show them to you after I mix them all together and everything and get it ready to go in the fridge. So, and then of course on Thanksgiving you'll see if it turned out okay or not. Anyway, I'm gonna eat my burritos right now. So I'm making my own hemp milk. That's 3 cups of water and 1.5 cups of hemp seeds. You can strain it at this point if you want it to be smoother, but I don't mind it the way that it is, so I'm just gonna use it like this. Excuse my messy handwriting, but this is my recipe that I'm gonna use. I got the paper wet. This is from The Minimalist Baker again on .com. And I'm gonna add these things in the bottom just because I want to make sure that it sticks together really well since I'm not baking it. And I haven't made this one before, so I don't know exactly how the consistency turns out in real life. So here we go. And I'm gonna be doubling this recipe because I'm making 2 pies. All right, so I'm gonna put my flax seeds in here first. I have ground flax seed already. I'm just gonna put 2 tablespoons of that. And a teaspoon of my egg replacer. A little bit more than a teaspoon. I think I'm only going to end up needing 1 can of this since the recipe only calls for 1 can of puree for 1 pie, and I'm going to make 2 pies, so I'm basically just going to use probably less than 1 can. Let's see. Well, I'm going to add a little bit of the hemp milk to this to get the eggs to start getting gooey, you know, before I stick the rest of the ingredients in. So I'm just gonna add probably like, I'm gonna just probably do like 3 tablespoons and see how that works. The recipe calls for 1 2/3 cups of milk, which is why I made I doubled. You make hemp milk with 1 cup of seeds and 2 cups of milk. So I made, you know, 1.5 cups of seeds and 3 cups of water. I meant water, not milk. So that's why I kind of like, I didn't completely double the recipe, but I like 1.5'd it. And I don't have a whisk, so I'm just going to use a fork. It's kind of thick and the milk's kind of thick and creamy-ish already. I might need a little bit more. It's thick and gooey already. Just gonna pour a little bit in there. It's all thick and creamy, so I think a lot of it was foam that went in here when I poured it. Keep in mind again that I haven't done this before, so I have not made vegan pumpkin pies before, so we're gonna experiment and figure it out. And I think that's gonna be okay. I don't want it to be too watery since I'm gonna add a bunch of hemp milk in as I go, and plus the pumpkin puree is obviously kind of watery. So we're gonna do this. Add 2 cups. That's about a cup. I'm gonna add 2 cups. Smells really good. Ooh, I can't wait to eat pumpkin pies. So yummy. Best part of Thanksgiving, pumpkin pie. So now I'm gonna add cornstarch, 3.5 tablespoons. This is gonna be kind of messy. Let me rinse this off. And wipe it dry. Ooh, I'm gonna crack my things apart.
3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I guess this is probably what was supposed to keep it thick. 1.5. But again, we're experimenting. I just made a mess all over my pants with the cornstarch. This is gonna be a complete mess.
Because I'm a messy cooker. I'm a messy baker, so I'll be covered in flour and not flour, but this and everything else when I'm done. I don't even know how much a 1/3 cup is. I have a 1/4 cup. I don't have a 1/3 cup measurement, so I'm not good with measurements. I'm gonna just do a little bit more than a 1/4 cup because I'm not sure if it's more or less than this. And I like sweet pies, so I'm gonna do like 1 and another 1/2 for that. Oh wait, I forgot I'm supposed to be doubling it, so I guess we're gonna have to do that again. There we go. Oh, see, I already messed up because since we're doubling the recipe, I gotta double the flaxseed too and the egg replacer, so let's go back and do that. See, it's a good thing I'm talking this through with you guys, or I might not have realized what I did wrong. You know? You're helping me out while I make a huge mess. See if this goes all over the place again. Yep. Alright, so next it'll be, so since we're doubling it, it's going to be a full teaspoon of pumpkin spice. Ooh, that smells good. A little bit extra isn't going to hurt anybody. A pinch of salt. Where's my salt? I'm running out of salt. I'm going to have to get a new one soon. Haven't been to Costco in a while because it's time for me to renew my membership. And I'm not ready to pay the $55 membership fee. I've been putting it off. I gotta make sure I put enough because sometimes I don't add enough and then I'm like, oh, these biscuits taste very bland because I didn't put enough salt. And we're doubling it, so I don't know if that's enough. That might be enough for one pie. I think that was about a teaspoon's worth. So I'm gonna do about 2 teaspoons or a teaspoon and a half's worth of salt. Next one is, well, I'm gonna do my half a teaspoon of regular, or actually I'm just gonna do a full teaspoon of regular cinnamon. This is my Costco cinnamon. Teaspoon of that. Now I'm gonna just kind of mix this a bit to get it incorporated into the puree. You could use a mixer if you have a mixer. I do have a mixer somewhere, but I don't like digging it out. If it's possible for me to do something just like this by hand, then I'll just do it by hand. Just try to make sure you get everything mixed properly. Push down if you see any lumps of stuff. You can try to unlump it. I just splashed myself in the mouth. It tastes good. Now we're gonna add some vanilla. This says half a teaspoon of vanilla, so I'm gonna use a full teaspoon. Don't you love experimenting in the kitchen? I do. I mean, it's probably not a good idea to do it right before Thanksgiving when you don't know how it's gonna turn out and you've invited people over. Like I've invited my parents and my brother and his girlfriend over. But you know what? If you never take any risks in life, you'll never have any excitement, right? So the last thing is the milk. So it's gonna be I don't know, what's 2/3 and 2/3? Again, I'm not good at math, so I don't know what that is. At least I can admit it, right? So I don't know, let's see. I'm gonna do 2. Pretty sure I have a 2/3 cup measurement on my my liquid thing, measurement thing. You know what I'm talking about, one of these. I have a 1/3 thing on here right here, so, oh, I have a 2/3 too, so we'll do 2/3 and then we'll do 2/3 again. It seems like a lot of milk. It seems like too much for this. I'm glad I put the extra flax and egg replacer in there because to me it seems way too watery. See, I told you I was gonna make a mess. Seems super watery. Now would probably be a good time to have a blender. Well, if my bowl was bigger, because then I would just splash it all over the place. Okay, I went back and looked at the recipe. I didn't read the whole thing. I guess I should have read the entire thing before actually trying to make it. Duh. But anyway, it says you have to boil, or like, it says let it bubble, not boil, for like 15 minutes or something in the pot, and then you have to chill it in the fridge and everything. So here we go. My mommy bought me a new pot, which is cool, because I needed a sauce pot, and this is gonna be perfect. So I'm gonna pour this in here. And then we're gonna turn the heat on. Let me get a spatula. Turn my heat on 4. Okay, so I'm gonna let this thicken up. And then I guess it has to chill when it's done. It's supposed to thicken in here because that's what the cornstarch is for. To make it thicken, and then I'm sure it's gonna get doubly thick because of the stuff I added to it. So we're gonna see how it turns out. So I had it on medium until I saw that it was starting to bubble, and then I turned it down to medium low, and now you're just supposed to keep stirring it and waiting for it to get really thick. And it's supposed to make a ribbon on the top when you do this, and it's supposed to be really jello-like and thick. So I'm just waiting for that to happen. Alright, so the recipe says that it's going to get thick like pudding. As you can see, it's getting pretty thick. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it in this glass bowl. And I'm glad I started making this recipe on Tuesday because it has to sit and chill for a couple hours and I have to go to work. So I'm just going to leave it in the fridge overnight, and then tomorrow I'll stick it in the pie shells and then let it refrigerate some more, and then we'll see. Alright, so I'm going to dump this into the bowl. This is fairly heavy. Let's hope I don't drop it. Again, backwards here because camera's on the wrong side for me. This isn't too hot. Thick like pudding. So I'm gonna let this cool till I go to work, and I'm all out of plastic wrap, so I'm just gonna cover it with this Ziploc bag and stick it in my fridge after it cools a bit. And let's give the pie filling a taste test. Tasty. It's a little crunchy from the hemp seeds, but it's not bad. It tastes good. So we'll see how it turns out. Wish me luck. So my pie turned out a little bit pudding-like, so it's not as firm as I'd like it to be, but it tastes good. Doesn't taste quite like traditional pumpkin pie, but it's still really good. Next time I might let the pudding boil even longer to make it even thicker before I would put it in the the pie shell. So anyway, it tastes good. Yeah, so I don't know if I would recommend it to you guys because obviously it's kind of pudding-like, but if you like pumpkin pudding, it's really good. Tastes good. You could give it a try if you want to.
The pie tastes yummy.
Okay, so Logan likes it. We'll see if Garion likes it in a minute. He's making his breakfast toast. They're gonna have toast and pie for breakfast because I decided since this pie is kind of mushy, I'm gonna eat the one that didn't fill the pie crust all the way. And
it's good.
Oh, you like it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. You wouldn't mind having it again?
I do. I would love to have it.
You want to have it again? Okay, cool.
Yep. Because I love pie.
So I decided I wasn't sure if my parents were going to like the no-bake pie or not, so I went ahead and took Shannon Lee the Veggie Nut sweet potato pie recipe, and I just used canned pumpkin instead. And I made 2 more pumpkin pies out of that. So hopefully these will give a variety, and then I'm also going to make apple pie, so hopefully everybody will have something that they like. Plus I bought these miracle tarts from Hail Mary that I'm gonna put on the table as well, so another flavor option in case somebody's picky.